Lightning round. Now, I'm going to do this very simply. If something's a matter of opinion and can be taken one way or another, people are free to say and believe whatever they want to. But when it's very obvious that someone's trying to push something and push something and push something, or a person keeps bringing up subject matter that indicates that they have a mindset and they're not willing to just go back and take a second look, that's when you have to explain to them, you need to stop believing what you're told, period, full stop, and actually interrogate every source. So we're going to compare Fox News with reality again. But I'm going to read back the question, or more accurately, an assertion. The Netherlands will close about 3,000 farms, 25% of the total farms, to comply with the European Union. Dutch government plans to shut down up to 3,000 farms to comply with European Union mandate. The Dutch government plans to buy, at well over the farm's price, 120%, up to 3,000 farms, unless they're willing to change their farming practices near environmentally sensitive areas to cut down on nitrogen pollution that's getting into the water supply and ruining the environment, causing erosion and 100 other damn things. This is something that happened in the United States too. And also this happens to comply with European Union nature preservation rules. They've been having this argument with the same farmers for a long time because the farmers are using what will make money and sustain them, which is understandable. But the same thing also happened in the United States where people said, you're literally poisoning the water downriver for the city or for the village, or you're causing it to grow toxic, shock-inducing, amoebas or algae in the water because you're fertilizing the water supply. This is something that's extremely well understood. Nitrogen fixation in the dirt to get things to grow with plants by giving it a rest period every few years works better than throwing on artificial fertilizer, which is probably what's being done here. But WebTech, you didn't look it up. No. When Fox News has to push really hard to say it's an evil overlord European Union telling the little guy what to do versus them being told for I don't even know how many years, stop dumping crap into the water supply. Okay, I'm going to bring up my favorite example. Why does the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, yeah, they fooled you. Why do you find Australian channels trumpeting Trump, doing lots of spin doctoring? Because the scourge of conservatism is done by evil forces in mainstream media. Yeah, that actually is true to a certain, I think it's Rupert and Murdoch or whoever it is that this is originally an Australian or whatever, or Canadian or worse, maybe he's French, but whatever. The point is, the people who run the industry, who hide in the shadows, who tell people, say shit that's complete bonkers crap, like the Dutch government is shutting down the farms. No, they're buying them out at more than their value per grand for the ground because the farmers are refusing, they've been given opportunities. Change what you do. Comply with the rules. They're offering them, of course. The Dutch government, the Netherlands, isn't going to pay people subsidies because everybody accuses them of being socialists that prop up whatever the fuck they want, but suddenly they're just being mean to the little guy. Versus, these are 3,000 farms along the lines, along wetlands and nature preserves and near rivers that are putting pollution into the damn water and the ground. Farm pollution is a real thing. It actually happens. It seems like a contradiction in terms. You can ask a Farmers for Truth and a bunch of other channels that do nothing but farming and homesteading about the effect they have on the environment when they do something that just screws things up. They end up poisoning a river and suddenly they can't get fish. Or they get massive erosion because they did something stupid and they have to watch out for it. I'm not saying these are careless or stupid farmers. I'm saying they've been told, stop doing these practices, we will help you. There's entire studies, most of them in a foreign language, so you can't read them, that explain this. But no, Fox News is totally not just feeding you bullshit. When the first thing that comes up is Fox News pushing this narrative, and then anybody who talks about investing in gold, these are the same people who are against fiat currency like dollars and greenbacks because they think we should go in the gold standard, but then they tell you to invest in crypto because they're a bunch of freaking jerk-offs. Don't take advice from anyone who's been wrong in finance unless they admit they were wrong. Not, oh, well, that's totally a conspiracy thing. No, just stop listening to them. They're not willing to take responsibility for their lack of ability. And when I see Fox News brought up first thing, stop watching Fox News. Stop watching CNN. I'm not kidding. Stop watching, well, the mainstream media. Then stop watching the mainstream media and go read the frickin' documents. Go through Google Translate. Am I doing a good job with this? No, I'm doing a first blush. Who's doing the bullshitting? Now, if you don't like that, I don't give a damn. Any of you, including the person asking this question. I'm not trying to be mean to you if you're watching. You might be watching. But please stop listening to Fox News' spin. Basically, the rule is if Fox News is pushing something and they're using emotional and borderline coercive, arm-twisting, grab at heartstring kind of verbiage, they're lying. Just accept that they've been caught lying over and over and over again. And seriously, this is to the person who's posting this, because they posted something about Biden shutting down a pipeline and whatever. And another thing I'm going to bring up in here. Every one of the stories you brought up in one entire string ended up being spin-doctored sources. It doesn't matter if they're opinions. Did they present the facts? The XL pipeline thing, the company had gotten away with doing an earned-around to avoid having to go through official channels. Why would we grant them permits if they've gone ahead and done a sneaky? And even when Trump reinforced it and actually put the same restrictions on, they just sat on their hands, essentially, didn't they? Or did they? This is subject to opinion. I mean, there's really a lot of opinion on that. But this is a little bit hard for me to swallow as being an accident. You're not verbatim quoting Fox News. Their source was what you're apparently quoting. So, again, I'm not kidding about it. Clear your cookies and start reading on purpose overtly libtard biased stuff and get both sides. Don't act like you can ignore either side. Yes, both sides are lying. But what you find them agreeing on is your first starting point. Look for the keywords and then explore it. Now, is it possible that this is just the European Union telling them what to do and pushing them around? But that's the claim everybody makes. That's why we have a Brexit happen. Brexit has been a failed experiment so far, in my opinion, but I don't live there. And if their country is willing to put up with it, they're good. I'm good with it. Seriously, I'm not going to tell Britain what to do. But are you going to tell the Dutch government what to do? Do you believe the European Union is actually making them do this? Maybe. But they can also decide we're not going to comply with European Union rules because we can't. There is an out in the European Union to say we can't comply. And people can petition to leave. I don't think the European Union, after a Brexit, wants to push anybody's buttons here. But no, this is 3,000 farms out of how many? Okay. Saying it's 25% of the total farms? Okay. But the government isn't offering them any method to make it to where they can comply with the rules so that they can reduce the pollution? Did you even know that it was about pollution? Do you know that nitrogen pollution happens? I mean, I'm sure you've heard of this, but did you get told that by Fox News? Did they make it very clear that that was the specific assertion by that side? Or did they absolutely gloss it over and put on a pontificator who babbles for 4 hours? People complain about me taking 15 minutes. Was the U.S. sent aid, did the United States send aid to the Ukraine, then have it laundered through cryptocurrency exchange firm FTX directly back to the Democratic Party? Is crypto used to launder Ukraine money to the Democrats? Where did this come from? The person asked me about the FTX executive and or owner and donations to the Democratic Party, and is crypto used to launder Ukraine money to the Democrats? Now, this is such a fractured thing, I had to look it up through several sources, but I'm only going to leave 3 URLs below that are archives. If people use cryptocurrency to donate to the Ukraine war effort through small organizations or to the government itself because they were begging for help, it would have to be converted into local currency. Now, this is a logic puzzle. Do they have to convert it, or does the Ukraine government take crypto and run it through some system? Some of this went through the third largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world at the time, FTX. The Ukraine government did not invest or store money in FTX itself, and apparently not even Bitcoin. People wanted to donate anonymously. The easiest way to donate anonymously was to use cryptocurrency of some kind. That's what it's good for. So the third largest cryptocurrency exchange takes a belly up. And one of the people there, the owner, Sam Beckman-Fried, donated to the Democrats. And he's the second largest donor according to, those kind of websites. Okay. Did any other people at FTX donate? Were you told that? Because then you'd look up that they also, just like Sam Beckman-Fried, donated to conservatives, individuals, not a party. He also donated to conservative organizations and democratic organizations that were either friendly to the company or that he believed in. I have voted for Republicans because it was the only person on the ballot that wasn't an idiot. I value these things. I like real conservatives that are basically just there to unscrew things. That's what they present themselves as. Some of them really are. Some Democrats are as well. Most of them, in my opinion. Most people in local government who are running for government, it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican, I don't care. And the owner of FTX didn't care either. He donated approximately equally between them. He just had a shit ton of money because he was running the third largest cryptocurrency company on the planet. Until it got fucked, and he's probably guilty of a billion things. But the point is, what he said and what Fox or whatever represented is he donated to Democrats. Yeah, he also donated to Trump. He dead ass donated to Trump. So did some of the executives, or at least to Trump-style organizations that were trying to accomplish a specific goal. For all you know, he donated to putting up an independent group of people putting up their own sections of the U.S. border wall to just get it done or to repair it. Lots of people volunteered to fix the wall. I know personally 2 people who decided, I'd like to go out and weld for it. I mean, I'd like to get paid for it, but they believe that the border wall with Mexico should be strengthened and repaired and should not have giant holes in it. Okay, cool. I just don't have a dog in the fight. I'm up in Oregon, and honestly, I don't care. Honestly, at the time, anyway. But the point I'm making here is, are you listening to sources that only mention that he's the second largest donor to the Democrats? Technically not to the Democratic Party, but random Democrats. He's also the third largest donor to Republican candidates, possibly. And combining it with the FTX executives, he's the second largest donor to the Republican Party. So it's obviously a laundering thing. So let's review. If people use cryptocurrency like you and me, we can do this, that's what it's for. It would have to be converted into local funds in the Ukraine, right? Or something like that, something local to it, right? Maybe rubles. Maybe they'll just use Russian rubles. But some of it went through FTX. Therefore, and then some of the people on the FTX donated to the Republican and Democratic Party both. So of course, it's a laundering thing so that that US aid didn't go through cryptocurrency, right? It went through direct active aid, mostly. I mean, I'm sure some of it went through cryptocurrency to hide it. But the majority of the cryptocurrency transfers to Ukraine were done by ordinary citizens all over the planet. I don't think that's a money laundering system to make sure the money goes to the Democrats when these people you said fed it to the Democrats also fed it to the Republicans. And depending on how you look at the numbers, they were significant donors to people including fucking Trump. So again, did you read a biased source of information? Now just don't say it to me. Don't type it. Just say to yourself, did I read a biased source that tricked me into insulting people's intelligence in the state of Oregon? That was actually very easy to look up. But there's only one real page debunking it. The others kind of just avoid it. Or promote it. And as for the Netherlands, it's the government regulating their own farmers, and the farmers are in revolt. That's all. That happened in the United States, too. If you're downriver from a bunch of farmers who fuck up your water supply, you're on the side of the government regulating them, not on the farmers' side. Don't even get me started about ranchers doing something even worse. Seriously, strychnine getting in the water supply. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.